Okay. Like, share, thumb up the video, okay? I appreciate everyone that do. I'm going to put this video on, okay? All right. We're going to see why what did I say? A House Without a Father. Oh, okay. That's this little movie that I was getting ready to watch, but I didn't like how it was taken off. It seemed like it was kind of corny. But we're gonna watch this movie about why the ex was such a fucking hater. Okay? Why the ex was such a fucking front row seat hater. We're gonna watch this video, okay? All right, about why this ex could not get over divine feminine. Why this ex was fucked up in his dome because he knew he fucked up and he knew it went no way back in. Okay? All right, we finna see why this ex was such a big ass kid, wouldn't heal, all the shit that he said and did from lies around his family friends, all of it got exposed. Like the reader, he went and got a reading on you. It disasterated him. Okay, he's disaster because all of this beautiful shit that the reader said about you, he was looking to hear maybe some other crazy shit, or maybe hear some shit about, oh, she's still longing for you. She cries, she dreams. I don't know what this clown thought he was going to hear. But I hope he got the answer that he needs so that he can stop seeking out, wasting money seeking out readers. Because at the end of the day, stop hijacking another nigga's energy. If you want to see what's up with them, then contact them. Stop being a coward and doing all this stalking and watching and all of those shit behind the scene. Painting one mask for people, but then you got a whole nother mask going on. Okay, it's just too much for me. I'm tired of this shit. Okay, but Father God keep putting it out there. Okay, and we got obsidian. We got obsidian around us because you toxic. You toxic as fuck. Okay, this is why we got the protection around us, which is really protection against the evil eye. Because anytime a motherfucker can't be with you, they definitely sending you the evil eye and mad as fuck that you doing good without them, or doing better without them, or everything you said was true. It's all of that going on. Okay, which everything the high priestess say is true, right? I'm gonna put this video on so that y'all can hear. Okay, the title is they paid to have a tarot reading on you. Also, I got a spirit box reading. And everything that's in this video that y'all about to see on this spirit box read, every word that's on here popped up in this reading. Okay, so it just lets me know that a lot of this is pertaining to that person. They wear masks. They want to coattail and get in your energy and make themselves feel some type of way, meaning like important, or feel like they're about something. Okay, somebody paint a picture and make it seem like they just make it seem like they more than what they is. Okay, this is ultimately why they was a hater in your energy, whether it's a divine masculine or a divine feminine. This is why they was a hater in your energy, is because they was not on your quality. They was not a quality of you. You feel what I'm saying? They knew they lacked. Okay, it's things about themselves that they wouldn't change. They didn't want to work on, and they was mad. Your light was, really doing something to their shadow side. So I'm gonna put this video on. It's even a detective. It says, how could you possibly know this? And then it says, you carry a language of power that no one ever taught. So they mad about how you can decode everything and how you just know shit on a whole nother level. Okay? All right? And that's because ain't nobody going within and studying and spending time with the Father God. Is why all of this crazy stuff is going on YouTube, like it's some type of phenomenon, when this is regular shit. This is regular shit. But to someone that's asleep, that really don't know, that's been pretending this whole time, it looked like something else. Okay? All right? It looked like something else. All right. That's just like the girl that gave the story. She did a little story time, and she said about how she came into her clear audience ability, and she didn't know she had it. So when she was at work, she was dealing with elders. They was all getting on the van. She was taking them shopping. You know how you take them trip shopping. The lady must have stayed like in, I don't know, some kind of assisted living, or she might have stayed in a, yeah, she might have stayed in assisted living, or she stayed in some kind of senior citizen high rising type of building where they do have a van that will come around and grab the elders of that high rise building and take them like to Walmart or something like that. So when all these people got on the bus, she said the lady, was grieving about she had lost her son. So the lady lost her son. So, by her grieving, you know how you bring up stuff that's on your mind. You be trying to get comfort. So you might just mention it, even though people don't know him. You gonna still say something. So the lady was like, yeah, I just lost my son. I never thought I'd lose my child before me. See my child go before me. Okay. God forbid any of us go through that. So let me say that. Okay. So then the lady was like, said that, and so then the girl was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss," or whatever, whatnot. And as soon as she said that, the lady's son that had crossed over was like, "Can you tell my mom something?" And then the girl was like, she said she thought she was tripping because she heard it really, really, really clear, and so she was like, "Am I tripping? Did I just hear? Can you tell my mom something?" So the dude said it again. "Can you tell my mom something?" And so the guy was trying to basically tell her the shoebox, the money. I got money in the shoebox. I need her to know I got money in the shoebox. Because he died probably without telling her, because that's probably something that he had hid. He was saving this. I don't know. He could have been making this in the street. Didn't want nobody to know he had bread, whatever it was. So anyway, he was like, I need to tell my mom about the shoebox and the money in it. So the lady was so scared to tell the older lady about it because she didn't know if she was tripping or not. That was irritating me because I'm like, shit, if spirit tell me to tell somebody something, I'm going to be polite about it. I'm going to ease it in. I'm going to ask the person for their permission to ask them, can I tell them something? But I'm definitely going to tell them. I'm not going to go through all of that shit and make it difficult for the spirit when they trying to get a message out. So the girl made it difficult for the spirit because she didn't believe the shit. So she was like, if this shit is real and you really want me to tell your mother that, she's saying this shit all in her head. She not speaking outwardly. She's saying it in her head, because if she would have speak it outwardly, that would look crazy because everybody on the bus, they'd be like, who's she talking to? So she was just talking in her head. So she was like, if this is true, then I want to see a word shoebox. Show me shoebox. If I don't see shoebox, I'm not saying shit. And she wasn't playing. So as she was driving, she said she was getting closer to the mall. She said she was looking everywhere for shoebox and wasn't seeing it. So she thought she was tripping. She said she wasn't going to say shit. So she said as she kept driving and driving and driving, and she got closer to the mall where the people was going to go and shop and get off, she said she seen a blue box where people put donations and all of those shit at. And on it, it just says shoes. It says shoes, clothes, and accessories or something like that. So she said, no, I'm not accepting that. All I see is shoes on that. It's a blue box, but all I see is the word shoe. Until I see shoe box, I'm not seeing anything. So then she looked over to the other side of her, and so she seen shoes on one thing, and on the other side of her, there was a word box on something. So she's just like, oh my God. So then she put it together and went on and accepted that. She wasn't going to accept that at first, but the guy was basically telling her, look, lady, you're not going to get exactly what you want. I just showed you shoes and I showed you box. Tell my mother that the money is in the box. So they was getting ready to get off the bus. So she finally told her, she said, excuse me. She said, yo, son, want you to know something about a box, shoebox, something about a shoebox. And that's when the lady was like, oh my God, shoebox. And then she was like, my son got a lot of shoes all in his room and a bunch of boxes, and I kept telling him to get rid of them boxes and stuff, and I was supposed to go through that, but I never did. I hadn't got to it yet. And so she was like, okay. So then the message got to her. So basically that's what's going on. Okay, that's the message right there. So You know, you got these people that's doing shit and they don't understand that you know what's going on. Okay? They don't understand that the shit that they did while they was in your energy was completely a violation, and you can't cross that. Once you cross certain lines, you cannot come back over to the other side. It just is what it is. It don't got nothing to do with bitterness. It don't got nothing to do with anything. It got to do with righteousness. It got to do with integrity. It got to do with trust and violation and privacy and all kind of shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like a loyalty. It got to do with a lot of stuff. It got to do with maturity. It got to do with ethics and morals. Okay, all right. A lot of these people, you know, was in our energy. You know, they did shit that they thought that shit was cute. Okay, they thought that shit was cute. They thought they was getting away with it. Okay, okay, and the very thing that they was doing got exposed. Okay, in the least way that they thought that it would get exposed. So at the end of the day, I don't got time for childish games. But let's put this video on because I'm tired of motherfuckers violating people's energy. Okay? If you want to know about a person, you go to them. Stop snooping. Stop snooping and getting readings and doing all of this crazy, you know, spying and monitoring and all of this crazy shit, and just come straight with it. If they want to fuck with you, they fuck with you. If you block and they don't, then you block and you don't. Learn the lesson that you need to learn, okay? All right? Maybe one day you will come across another bad one, okay? A baddie, okay? And you will get that opportunity again. But in this life, you ain't going to get that opportunity again with some of these baddies that already pass you by, okay? All right, it is what it is, okay? You just got to accept it, move on, and stop being a cornball, is what I say.
Chosen ones, believe it or not, someone paid to have a tarot reading on you, and what they heard devastated them to their core.
Yeah,
they thought they were ready for answers, but the truth that came
Stop
through
snooping.
shattered every
Stop
illusion they
snooping,
were
because you
holding
got
on
the
to.
evil eye for a
The
motherfucker.
reader spoke of your protection, your elevation, your unstoppable rise. They described doors opening, blessings flowing, and a divine light surrounding you that no one can touch. The moment your name was mentioned, the energy shifted in that room because your spirit is untouchable now. The person who paid for that reading can't stop replaying it. Their fantasy died in real time. They finally realized what the divine already knew. Your story no longer includes them. What devastated this individual most wasn't just that you're doing well. It's that you're thriving specifically because the connection was severed. The mystic explained that the former presence in your life was like a weight around your ankle while you were trying to swim. The moment you cut that weight loose, you shot to the surface, and now you're not just breathing, you're flying. But there's more to this situation. There's always more. And what's about to unfold is going to show you just how deep this really goes. The spiritual reader started talking about something unexpected, a third party. Someone who was operating behind the scenes during your entire relationship. Someone who was feeding lies and twisting information. Someone who used your former partner as a tool to sabotage you.
Yeah, you too
and
weak.
only now is the realization dawning that manipulation occurred.
You too weak.
See, there was someone in the background who never wanted you to succeed. Maybe it was a family member consumed by jealousy. Maybe it was a friend who wanted what you had. Maybe it was an ex who never got over your former partner and saw you as competition. Whoever it was, poison was being whispered the entire time. Seeds of doubt were planted. Conflict was created where there was none. A slow and methodical turning against you was orchestrated, and your former partner fell for it. Manipulation was allowed. Participation in undermining you happened because someone else convinced them you were the problem. Betrayal occurred because outsiders fed a narrative that justified the behavior. The spiritual reader laid all of this out. The web was revealed. How this person was used as a weapon against you became clear. Now the looking around begins, and the realization hits. Those people are gone. Those friends disappeared. Those manipulators moved on to other targets. Those co-conspirators abandoned ship the moment things got difficult. This person is sitting alone with the wreckage of choices made based on lies believed. And the reader said something that cut deep. The common denominator in all these failed relationships isn't everyone else. It's the person sitting in front of the mystic.
Hell yeah.
Boundary violations were discussed. How monitoring has been attempted even after you cut off contact. How mutual friends have been asked about you. How social media has been checked through fake accounts. How spiritual reaching has been attempted without permission.
How motherfuckers knew shit about you,
this
but didn't
behavior
even
is
know
invasive. It violates the clear boundary you set when you walked away. It's the reason forward movement can't happen, because an energetic tether still exists through obsession, and that obsession is poisoning
about you, and you ain't even in the
The
motherfucking
spiritual
room.
practitioner explained something profound. You felt this energy trying to reach you. You've had to reinforce your protection multiple times. You've sensed someone refusing to let go. And each time you've felt it, you've strengthened your walls. You've built your boundaries higher. You've sealed your energy tighter. You're not playing games. You're protecting your peace with fierce determination. The mystic described how life has been falling apart, finances crumbling, relationships deteriorating, mental state declining. Everything is collapsing. And the reason isn't understood, but the reader explained it clearly. There was an energetic imbalance when you were together. Your drive was being fed on. Your ambition was being siphoned. Your light was being drained. As long as you were struggling and working yourself to exhaustion, coasting was possible for someone else. But when you left and severed that connection, everything shifted. You started rising because dead weight was no longer being carried. Your energy was finally yours to invest in yourself. Your resources were finally yours to build with. Your time was finally yours to use productively. And as you rose, someone else fell. Because standing alone was never learned, leaning on you became so comfortable that self-support was forgotten. The spiritual reader made clear this pattern will continue. As you climb higher, someone else will sink lower, not because you're doing anything to them, but because the work necessary to heal and grow is being refused, stuck in victim mentality, stuck in blame, stuck in the past. And that energy is toxic. It's contaminating everything it touches. The mystic started talking about addiction and self-sabotage, about patterns being hidden from everyone, including the person possessing them. Maybe it's gambling, maybe it's substances, maybe it's spending, maybe it's other destructive behaviors never addressed. But the reader saw through the facade. The demons being run from were called out, and something was explained that this person didn't want to hear. When you were present, blame could be directed at you for struggles. Pointing at you as the reason for not getting it together was easy. Making you the scapegoat for failures was convenient. But now that you're gone and thriving, no one is left to blame. The mirror must be faced. The truth that the problem is internal must be confronted. The choices are the problem. The refusal to take responsibility is the problem. The mystic explained that external solutions are being sought for internal issues. Getting you back is thought to fix everything. Reconnecting is believed to restore balance. Your presence is seen as the solution to problems. But it won't work that way, because these problems exist independent of you. Healing requires work being avoided. Growth demands accountability being refused. Transformation necessitates honesty not being embraced. If this message aligned with your purpose, hype this video so fellow chosen ones can find their confirmation. Then came the revelation that made blood run cold. The spiritual reader mentioned legal matters, court proceedings, documentation, things coming to light through official channels, truth being exposed through formal processes, actions taken in darkness being revealed in public forums.
Somebody got the CIA on their ass.
Things were done that were thought would stay buried. Lies were told that were assumed would never surface. Manipulations were engaged in that were believed left no trail. But the universe has a way of bringing truth forward. What's done in darkness always comes to light, and past actions are catching up. The reader said you're going to win. Whatever legal matter is unfolding, the outcome is in your favor. Justice is on your side. Truth will vindicate you completely. Evidence is aligning. Documentation is supporting your version of events.
Somebody tried to burn
Witnesses
documents.
are corroborating your experience.
Somebody may be hiding some shit outside under some grass.
Happened, and lies are unraveling in real time.
Somebody tried to burn evidence. They tried to delete it, erase it.
Is being revealed
that shit is still there because other people got copies of it.
The spiritual practitioner said the best option is to accept responsibility and face consequences with whatever dignity can be managed. But acceptance isn't wanted. Denying is preferred. Deflecting continues. Playing victim feels safer. And the mystic warned this approach will only bring more pain. But here's the part of the reading that truly devastated this person. The part preparation was lacking for. The mystic started describing someone new in your life, or someone who's about to enter, someone who is everything your former partner never was, someone who matches your energy, someone who actually deserves you. The spiritual reader called this person your divine counterpart, your real match, someone who operates at your frequency, who supports your growth, who celebrates your success, who protects your energy, who adds to your life instead of draining from it. And listening to this description crushed the person commissioning this reading, because every quality mentioned is something lacking in them. Every characteristic described is something never provided. The mystic explained this divine counterpart is part of your destiny. This meeting was written in your soul contract. This relationship is meant to be because you've both done the inner work. You've both healed your wounds. You've both learned your lessons. You're both ready for this level of connection. And the reader made something brutally clear. The person getting this reading is not your divine counterpart. Never was. A karmic lesson was the role, a teaching tool, a necessary contrast that helped you recognize what real love looks like. The storm that taught you to appreciate peace, the chaos that taught you to value stability, the pain that taught you to recognize joy. The spiritual practitioner said you're not looking back. You're so focused on what's ahead that the past doesn't even cross your mind anymore. There's no residual attachment, no lingering feelings, no unfinished business. You're done, fully and completely done. And that realization is killing the person who paid for this information, because irreplaceability was assumed, that you'd measure everyone against them forever was believed, that some space in your heart would always be held was expected, but none of that is true. You've released this person so completely that not even an echo remains. You've moved on in a way that can't be comprehended, because someone is stuck obsessing over you while you're building an entirely new life without any connection to what was. Then the mystic addressed something that made this person squirm. Gossip, betrayal of confidence, sharing private information, using your vulnerabilities as weapons. The reader described how things you shared in intimate moments were spread to others, how your trust was violated repeatedly, how you were made the subject of conversations you never consented to, and not just with anyone, with people who actively disliked you, with individuals who were jealous of you, with persons who wanted to see you fail. Your private struggles were fed to your enemies and called venting. Your vulnerability was weaponized against you. The spiritual reader explained that you trusted this person with your healing journey, your trauma, your fears, your insecurities, and that sacred trust was betrayed. Information was shared with people who used it to undermine you, to mock you, to hurt you. This person is now being forced to confront how deeply you were violated, how profoundly the safety you thought you had was destroyed. The mystic made clear that you've figured out what happened, you've connected the dots, you understand how information about you reached people who had no business knowing it, you recognize the betrayal. And the reader said this is one of the main reasons your door is permanently closed. You can forgive many things, but you can't forget this level of violation. Trust broken in this way can never be repaired. The spiritual practitioner's tone changed. What's coming for you was described, and this painted a picture of a future so bright, so blessed, so abundant, that processing it was nearly impossible for your former partner. The mystic talked about major opportunities arriving at your door, career advancements that will transform your entire financial situation, recognition for talents that were always there but never properly acknowledged, connections with influential people who will open doors you didn't know existed. Your energy is magnetic right now. You're attracting blessings effortlessly. Opportunities are seeking you out. The right people are finding you. Perfect circumstances are aligning. The reader described a major blessing about to land in your life, something life-changing, something that will elevate you to a completely different level, something that validates everything you've been through, something that proves your struggle had purpose, and it's coming soon. Bigger than you currently imagine, and you deserve every bit of it because of everything you've overcome. The spiritual practitioner explained this blessing has been waiting for you, but it couldn't arrive while you were entangled with your former partner. That energy was blocking it, that presence was preventing it, that influence was delaying it, so the universe orchestrated your separation, not as punishment, but as protection, not as a loss, but as preparation. Not as an ending, but as repositioning for what's next. Now that you're free, the blessing can arrive. Now that you've healed, doors can open. Now that you've elevated, opportunities can find you. Your former partner is watching all of this unfold from a distance, seeing evidence of your rise, witnessing your transformation, observing your success. And it's torture. The mystic said this gap will only widen, that you're just getting started, that what's being seen now is nothing compared to what's coming, that your ascension is unstoppable, and the chance to be part of it was missed. Not because you weren't generous enough to include someone, but because evolution wasn't sufficient to receive what you were offering. Something that makes this whole situation even more intense. The spiritual practitioner told this person that multiple readings have been commissioned on you. This wasn't the first time money was paid to spy on your energy. This has been happening repeatedly. A pattern of spiritual surveillance has been built that borders on energetic stalking.
Just a girl with
I
adult
told
money
you, stalking
and way too
and
many
looking and
leggings. They hug
snooping
you in all the
and
right places, maybe
readings on
high
top
quality,
of readings on top
I
of
used
readings
Hint
on.
to get a
Right,
drawing of
shame
my
on you.
soulmate, and I still can't believe how
Shame
accurate it was.
on you.
So a while ago, I
You
came across
stupid.
this app.
Shame on you. Shame
The
on
mystic
you.
called this
Shame
out.
on you.
Questions were asked about why there's repeated returning for information about someone who clearly doesn't want contact, why money keeps being spent to hear about someone who's moved on completely, why such fixation exists on your journey when focus should be on a personal path, and no good answer existed. Because the truth is, addiction to you exists in the unhealthiest way possible. The reader explained that each time one of these readings is commissioned, the energetic cord attempting to be maintained with you is reinforced. Tendrils of energy are sent out attempting to connect with your field, and each time you're cutting those cords, rejecting those attempts, fortifying your boundaries. You're not interested in maintaining any connection, and your energy field reflects that decision absolutely. The spiritual practitioner said something fascinating that reveals just how powerful you've become. When attempting to read your energy directly, resistance was encountered, like there's a protective shield around you that only allows certain information through. The mystic could see your general trajectory and blessings coming your way, but intimate thoughts or feelings couldn't be accessed. You're protected at a level most people never achieve. This devastated the person even more, because it confirmed what was feared. You're not just physically unavailable, you're spiritually sealed off. There's no back door that can be used to reach you, no energetic loophole that can be exploited, no spiritual technique that will give access. You've closed every single entry point, and you did it so thoroughly that even professional readers can't penetrate your defenses. The mystic described this as evidence of profound inner work. Most people who leave relationships still have energetic ties that can be accessed for years, but you've done something different. You've completely severed every connection, released every attachment, healed every wound caused. You're operating as a sovereign being who's reclaimed total authority over your energy field. And here's what really gets your former partner. The spiritual reader explained that this level of protection doesn't come from hatred or bitterness. It comes from profound self-love and respect. You're not protecting yourself from this person because you're afraid. You're protecting your peace because you value it more than any connection to your past. You're guarding your energy because you understand its value. You're maintaining boundaries because you honor yourself. The realization is dawning that this level of strength was never seen when you were together because you hadn't cultivated it yet. You were still learning, still growing, still discovering your power. You were met during your caterpillar phase, and now you're being watched as you fly as a butterfly, and comprehension of how you transformed so completely is impossible for someone who remained stagnant. The reader said something else that shook this person to the core. How you've been doing your own spiritual work was described. How you've been healing intentionally. How you've been working with your own guides and practitioners to clear the damage from that relationship. How you've been actively choosing growth and evolution over stagnation and comfort. While obsession over you has consumed someone, you've been building yourself. While money has been paid to people to tell someone about you, you've been investing in your own development. While someone has been stuck in the past, you've been creating your future. The contrast is stark, and seeing how differently you've handled this separation is killing the person who commissioned this reading. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in, so let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. The mystic explained that when potential futures where reconnection happens were looked at, those timelines simply don't exist. It's not that such futures are unlikely, those possibilities are literally not there. The spiritual reader said this is rare. Usually there are multiple potential futures, some where people reconnect and some where separation continues. But in your case, every single timeline shows you moving forward without your former partner. The universe has made a decision, and that decision is final. This revelation hit like a freight train, because it means there's no hope, no chance, no possibility. The door isn't just closed, it's been removed from the wall. The bridge isn't just burned, it's been completely demolished, and the river has been rerouted. There is no path back to you, because you've eliminated every single route. The reader said acceptance is needed, that fighting against this reality is only causing more suffering, that the universe is trying to redirect attention to a personal path, but resistance continues, that there are lessons needing to be learned and growth needing to be experienced, but none of it can be accessed while fixation on you persists. The spiritual practitioner explained that this divine counterpart has also done the work. Wounds have been healed, lessons have been learned, the past has been released, readiness exists for the level of connection you're now capable of having, and the timing of your meeting is divinely orchestrated because you're both finally ready. The person getting the reading is hearing all of this and dying inside, because what could have been if growth had been chosen over comfort is becoming clear, if healing had been chosen over hiding, if accountability had been chosen over blame. But those choices weren't made, and now watching you connect with someone who did make those choices is happening. The reader described how this divine counterpart will treat you with reverence, with respect, with genuine love. Your success will be celebrated instead of feeling threatened by it. Your dreams will be supported instead of being dismissed. Your energy will be protected instead of being drained. Addition to your life in every way instead of subtraction from it. And the realization is dawning that the opposite of all of that was done. Feeling threatened by your light, dismissing your dreams, draining your energy, subtracting from your life. Everything a partner shouldn't be was embodied, and now hearing about someone who will be everything a partner should be is happening. The spiritual practitioner said something profound, that you meeting your divine counterpart isn't just about romance. It's about you stepping fully into your destiny. This partnership will unlock levels of your potential that couldn't be accessed alone. You'll create together, build together, grow together, impact the world together. This is bigger than just a relationship. It's a divine assignment, and your former partner is not part of that assignment, never meant to be. The purpose served was as a contrast teacher, and now that lesson is complete. The universe is moving you into the next phase, and there's no room for backward motion. The mystic explained that this is why one life is falling apart while yours is coming together. The universe is actively rearranging circumstances to align you with your destiny and remove obstacles from your path. What's being experienced by your former partner isn't random bad luck. It's divine redirection. It's karmic balancing. It's the natural consequence of choices meeting the universe's plan for your elevation. The reader said that every time energetic reaching for you happens, distance from personal healing is actually increasing. Every reading commissioned about you is money and energy, not being invested in self. Every moment spent obsessing over you is a moment not building a personal future. Self-sabotage with this obsession is literally happening. The spiritual practitioner said that you know this is happening. You've sensed the continued attention. You've felt the energy trying to reach you. And instead of feeling flattered or tempted, you feel annoyed. You see it as further evidence that you made the right choice. Every time you sense that energy reaching for you, it reinforces your decision to keep everything blocked. The mystic said this obsession is actually helping you, because every time you feel that energy and choose to reinforce your boundaries, you're getting stronger. Every time you sense attempts to connect and you shut it down, you're becoming more powerful. The inability to let go is inadvertently helping you cultivate the exact strength and sovereignty you need for what's coming next. The person commissioning this reading is hearing all of this and finally understanding that you've been lost in every possible way. Physically, blocking occurred. Emotionally, release happened. Spiritually, sealing off was completed. Energetically, every cord was severed. There is no dimension of reality where access to you still exists, and that finality is what's truly devastating. The spiritual reader talked about isolation, how your former partner has cut off everyone, how friends have been ghosted, how family has been avoided, how work relationships have deteriorated, and it's all because of refusal to take responsibility for something. The same message keeps coming from different people, different sources, from family, from friends, from colleagues. When talk happens about you or about what happened between you both, the same advice keeps being given, and hearing it is refused. What's wanted is an ego massage. Being told that victim status is deserved is the desire, or being told that working something out is possible. But the spiritual reader wasn't giving that. The mystic was giving truth, hard truth that's being resisted. The reader explained that everyone in this person's life has been telling them to let go. Friends have said it, family has said it, even strangers who barely know the situation have said it. And now a professional spiritual reader has said the same thing. Let go, move on, accept that it's over. Stop monitoring, stop obsessing, stop trying to find ways back into your life. But listening isn't happening, because letting go means accepting that something valuable was lost, and readiness to face that doesn't exist. So instead, payment continues to people to tell about you. Remote viewing attempts continue on your life. Searching for any scrap of information about what you're doing continues. Addiction to you in the most unhealthy way possible persists. The spiritual practitioner described how watching you succeed while someone continues to struggle is forcing confrontation with uncomfortable truth. You did the work, you faced your demons, you took responsibility, you healed, and now you're reaping the rewards of that commitment to growth. While someone else avoided all of that and now faces the consequences of that avoidance. The mystic talked about cycles, how your former partner has been through many cycles, and you are a karmic lesson to them. You may have been like a karmic enforcer of some sort, and it's only now that clarity is dawning about how well you're doing, and that you've achieved something within some sort of karmic contract, which is why you're no longer bound to this person. Your energy is no longer bound to this person. Your energy is no longer bound to this person. And the realization of this is hitting. The reader explained that this person sees things very black and white. It can't be a conversation. It has to be a debate. If you're right, then someone else is wrong. And rather than it just being a conversation where learning and growth happen, somebody has to be right, someone has to be wrong, someone has to be the winner, and someone has to be the loser. And now this is being seen very much in black and white, that in this situation the loser role is clear, and that's devastating. The spiritual practitioner was honest. This person probably won't do the necessary work. Continuation down this path of obsession and denial is likely. More readings on you will probably be gotten. More attempts to understand what you're doing will probably happen. More hoping for some opening back into your world will probably persist. And that's exactly what will keep stagnation in place, because every ounce of energy spent focused on you is energy not spent on personal healing. Every dollar paid for spiritual readings about you is a dollar not invested in personal growth. Every moment spent thinking about you is a moment not building a personal future. The mystic said something profound. You represent everything your former partner wishes they could be. Strong, resilient, authentic, aligned, free. And instead of doing the work to become those things personally, fixation on trying to access those qualities through you persists. But it doesn't work that way. Your light can't be stolen. Your energy can't be absorbed. Growth can't be shortcutted by staying connected to yours. Personal work must be done. A personal path must be walked. Personal demons must be faced. And the devastating truth the reader delivered is that this probably won't happen. Staying stuck in this pattern is likely. Years will probably be wasted obsessing over someone who has completely moved on. Meanwhile, you'll continue rising, keep evolving, stay aligned, remain protected, because chosen one, that's who you've always been. Not the diminished version known by your former partner, not the struggling version remembered, not the doubting version that was manipulated, but the powerful, radiant, unstoppable force of nature that you were always meant to be. You are living proof that the other side of pain is power, that the other side of betrayal is blessing, that the other side of loss is gain, that the other side of the ending is the beginning, that you did the work refused by someone else. You faced the mirror being avoided. You took responsibility being deflected. You healed wounds being ignored. And now you're reaping rewards that can only be watched from a distance. Your former partner will continue to hear things about you, continue to see evidence of your success, and it will continue to be devastating, not because you're trying to hurt anyone, but because your very existence at this frequency is a reminder of everything that could have been if different choices had been made. You were had and you were lost, not because you weren't enough, but because readiness for someone like you didn't exist. Preparation to honor someone of your caliber was lacking. Equipment to love someone of your depth wasn't possessed. Evolution to match someone of your frequency wasn't achieved. And now living with that must happen while you live in freedom, while you walk in purpose, while you embody your power, while you fulfill your destiny. This is your time, chosen one, your season, your moment, your ascension, and no amount of spiritual readings commissioned can change that. Your path is set, your purpose is clear, your future is bright, you're protected by forces that can't be understood by those operating at lower frequencies, you're guided by wisdom that can't be accessed by those refusing to do inner work, you're blessed by a universe that recognizes what you've overcome and what you deserve. So let payment for readings continue, let obsession from a distance persist, let watching as you become everything you were always meant to be happen. Because devastation experienced by others isn't your responsibility. Healing of others isn't your concern. Growth of others isn't your project. You did your part by removing yourself from toxicity, by choosing yourself, by walking away with your head held high. Now your only job is to keep rising, keep shining, keep winning, keep living in the abundance that's your birthright, keep operating at the frequency that attracts miracles. Keep being the powerful, magnetic, unstoppable force of nature you were always meant to be. Payment was made to hear about you, and what was heard devastated the person who paid. Because truth was heard. You're free, you're happy, you're protected, you're blessed, you're ascending. And that person is not part of your story anymore. A closed chapter in a book you've already moved past. A lesson you've already learned. A version of yourself you've already outgrown. Welcome home to your power, chosen one. This is where you were always meant to be. And this is only the beginning of everything magnificent unfolding in your life.
Yeah, that's the end of that. Okay.
It has this mesh inside.
Let me move this out the way real quick.
These are really comfortable.
That's the end of that. I'm going to end it here. Okay, Frequency. I don't know. Is this a movie? This might be a movie, okay, called Frequency.
Maybe.
Yeah, it is. A movie called Frequency.
Maybe you should go and say hello.
But
extra data is useful.
So somebody wouldn't on your frequency. Something about frequency, but on that spirit box reading, died is there. Okay. D-I-E-D is on the reading. Okay. And calamitous is on there, and I looked up the whole definition of it. And basically you got disastrous and calamity. Okay. You got somebody that got them a horrible situation going on, okay? And it might have brought death to some things, or if not their physical body, okay? We got nothing on here too, N-O-T-H-I-N-G, like nothing, okay? All right? But something about 3 days ago, attention, and then it says cause suffering, and, hold on, let me put my... I put cause suffering or disaster, so that might have been what caused somebody to receive this because they were sending this out. You got highly unsuccessful. The team made a disastrous start to the season. So I feel like it's a group of people that made a disastrous start to the season, meaning that now going into the new year, all of that, whatever the hell they was doing as a team, it highly unsuccessful, okay? All right, it brought calamities, okay, involving calamities, and then you got catastrophes here. You got disasters, okay, all right, such as, calamities, events as fires, hurricanes, floods. This is physical and spiritual, okay, and then you got disasters here causing a great damage, okay, a disastrous fire swept through a museum, okay. All right, I feel like somebody is a mute of just a bunch of disasters going on in their life, okay? And it's like a fucking fire just burning through everything. You know what I'm saying? Firewalls and all, okay? All right, something about Facebook, Describe, Paramount, Watch Now, new season, Unreal, Visit. I feel like something may go down on Facebook. Somebody may visit, meaning that you may visit. Something may visit from your past, something may come up on Facebook, something describe. I feel like it's something unreal. You may hear, I feel like it's some disastrous shit about somebody and it may be plastered on Facebook, okay? Some kind of remembrance page or something about that person, something may pop up. I don't know, maybe some kind of trouble with the law, okay? Somebody, an ex is definitely being arrested in something going down with the law, okay? CIA, okay, is coming up. Serious shit, okay? The words that's on here is, yes, basic, match, picture, movie, okay? So that's why I said movie, Unreal, something could be Paramount, okay? Watch Now, something may go down and it may be unreal. It may be unreal, like something may be so calamitous that it may be unreal to you what you seeing, okay? All right, it may be everything that you have said, okay? All right, you got a movie on here, you got they, you got hey, you got reach, you got each. I feel like people gonna reach out. Hey, I feel like hey and reach and each. I feel like people, each person gonna be reaching out to somebody. I feel like some kind of towerish disaster is going on with somebody, and people gonna be reaching out to each other. Somebody may have a friend named Hank, Ike, Hank. Thanks is here. You got Steel. Okay, ill, something ill, some kind of information, maybe something somebody may see. Okay, you got incest, insect, you got print, you got elect, you got circle, you got thirsty, you got kind, in on the side as a side word, you got capital, you got car, you got climb, you got limp as, opposite of climb, climb, because it's in that word, okay? But you got him, died, you got like, and then you got Ike, you got exercise, and then you got nothing. So I don't know, something may happen to somebody with it exercising. We did have a whole video where 8 people, 5 passed away, and the way that they passed away, somebody passed away while they was exercising. They had a whole aneurysm, and it was from the sins that they did with their brain. Like Father God wasn't playing. Somebody had a heart attack, and it's because, I don't know, they wouldn't resist, they wouldn't forgive, they wouldn't stop. Okay, they went all out. Something about the heart. Okay, they literally had a heart like they was woke up 2:30 in the morning, looked over in the corner. I guess couldn't resist going back to sleep. All they said was sorry, I'm sorry. Went back to sleep, and at 3 a.m. they had a heart attack and died. Okay, and a spouse, girlfriend, whoever woke up on the side of them. Okay, woke up on the side of them. Okay, with them deceased. Okay, another person, an illness raided their body like boom, like that, like took them out within 11 weeks. Okay, like I can't make this shit up how God is. Okay, all right, he's not nothing to fuck with, but I see people gonna learn the hard way. We got we got method, we got keep, we got animal, we got summer, we got succubus, we bust off of succubus. So I feel like it's a bunch of people that was riding on, I don't know, in succubus energy. Okay, forward, you got 4, you got face. Okay, and then you got ace. Okay, from face. And then with Facebook coming up at the top with describe, Paramount, watch now, new season, Unreal, visit, okay, movie coming in with picture, movie picture, all that coming in the line of things. Also, with the first readout that I got, because I had cut it off and then I had to cut it back on, I got repeat, coast, above, cease, grass, ass, cease, I got ease, I got born, or you got yay, you got move, you got page, you got master, you got hair, you got air off of hair, you got 14. This could be what, 14 times, 14 something about 14. It could be a 14 teenager, 14 child. Lurking is the word. I put energy next to lurking. I don't know, somebody could be watching, lurking, something around a 14-year-old. You got slave here. Okay, you got climb, it came out twice. You got guess, you got 100, it came out twice, back to back. 100, it said. So I got red from 100. Okay, I got warning, I got attention, I got mad from red, I got mad, I got focus. Something about 100, it came out twice. Okay, and then I put 200 right there. I don't know if this is money, miles. Somebody may drive 200 miles. Somebody may get $200. Somebody may have to spend $200. Somebody may give $200. Something about repeat over, okay, because that came out twice. Something may double, okay. You got I, watch. I put watch and spirit next to I because just the word I came out. Best, you got 2. You got where. Next to where I put ear. You got language. Okay, there's a whole video talking about your language and how you move. This could be spiritual language, how you listen here, how you discern. Okay, all right. But from to, where, ear, language, yes, base, match, picture. From match, I got at, mat. From picture, I got seer. I got look at picture. Okay, look at picture, look at movie. Okay, I got mask. From where, ear, and I. Okay, it could be how somebody's wearing a mask. language. Age is connected to language. How you able to read, okay, the language of, okay, whether it's 14 or 14-year-old, I don't know, or just anybody, how somebody act, how something is hid, something like that. You got yes that came out twice, all right, and then it moved on to the other page. Also, you had movie they reach, okay, ocean, okay, it went into the other page. But something about something could be like a movie. Something could be like a movie, especially with the Unreal. Okay, Unreal visit, then watch. So I feel like prime time, something may go down in real time, and it may be unreal to you. What you viewing, what you seeing. Something may pop up on Facebook. It may be something described, something described, some kind of description of something described. Okay, is going on. Something happened 3 days ago. A 10 causing suffering disasters. Okay. Highly unsuccessful. The team made a disastrous start to the season. Okay. And then all these calamities. Okay. With the fire, hurricane, and floods. This could be physical or, like I said, spiritual. Then you got him die like Ike. Exercise and nothing. So I don't know. Nothing is a deep ass word. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And then you got him die like exercise. So I don't know. Him die like easy. I don't know. Especially with ease up here at the top. All I know is somebody went out easy. Somebody went out something. Okay. Disasters is all around a bunch of situation. Limp. Somebody's limp. I don't know. Limp. Somebody's limp. Okay. Somebody went limp and died. Okay. And I want to know why. It could be due to exercise. Okay, it had nothing to do with nothing. They just died. They went limp. Okay, all right. Something is printed. Elected. I feel like something is printed. It's about a circle. Thirsty. Somebody was thirsty to do something. Okay, somebody wanted capital, and then you got car here too. So I feel like something around a car. It could be an accident. Die. You got exercise with the like word. Okay, which is I think this is like a act. When you're thinking about verb, I think that's a verb, like action word. But you got like here, okay? Somebody's name could be like Ike. Somebody could have went by Ike. Somebody could go by Hank, okay? This could have been Hank and Ike. I don't know. Hank and Ike. I know Ike. But Hank and Ike. I don't know. Something about Hank and Ike, okay? You got match here, okay? They could have been a match, a pair. They could have went together. Something about at, okay? Somebody could have been at somewhere, ocean, I don't know. Something going on, okay? With print being here, this could be something that you read, something printed, okay? All right? Somebody, capital, somebody could have wanted attention, wanted to take over, I don't know. Something about that, and something about a car, okay? Climb, okay? Limp, okay? All right? What is it about limp and climb, okay? Him. Okay, definitely something going on around a man. Okay, and that's 2 men names. Okay, yes is out here twice. Okay, something happened 3 days ago. Some definitely causing suffering and disasters. Okay, and something was very unsuccessful, highly unsuccessful, and it had to do with a team. Somebody that did a bunch of shit, and I feel like this is a group of people. Okay, all right. Their season is going to start off like fucked up. Something may happen to somebody's son. Okay? Sea. Something around the sea, sun, and ocean. Okay? I don't know. Sea and ocean. And then sun. Okay? Okay? Maybe a son may commit suicide. Flood. There's the flood. Flood is here. Because you got the fires, you got the hurricanes, and you got the floods. Somebody may lose their son to a disaster, something disastrous that may happen around them around a flood. It could be car. Car may go off a cliff, climb, because I'm seeing climb here. So it make me think about cliff, because I just said cliff out of nowhere. So I feel like something may go off cliff. Somebody may lose control of a vehicle, okay? All right, they may be driving fast, maybe coming around a circle. Okay, I don't know. But all I know, it may be unreal to somebody. It may be like a movie, unreal. Maybe when it happened, God forbid. Okay, all I know is something like that may go down. You may read that. It may be printed. It may be something seen on Facebook. Okay, something may blow somebody's mind. It's definitely got calamitous fucking events going on around somebody. Okay, all right. This is what you need to know. Okay. All right, this is what you need to know. A mule. Somebody's being used as a mule. So this may be happening too. I don't know. Use, mule. Somebody use, mule. Somebody try to use somebody as a mule. I don't know. But somebody may get used as a mule. Maybe used as an example. I don't know. Somebody tried to sacrifice somebody. So now they're going to be used as a mule. Used as an example. Okay, a lot of shit gonna go on around somebody. Okay, you also got succubus here, and you got bust. Okay, forward face, animal, summer, keep, method. Okay, somebody could have been on meth. Something going on around meth. Somebody may OD. I don't know. Something's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. I feel like it's a bunch of omens, and they bad for somebody. Okay, omens. Yeah, it's gonna happen to a bunch of men. Okay, some bad omens is coming to some men. Okay, is what y'all need to know. Okay, it's gonna feel like a movie. It's gonna feel unreal. Okay, somebody could have shit visiting them. Okay, something about sit. Okay, with this visit, and then new season, somebody's gonna be sitting in a lot of shit. Is what I think is going on. Okay, and if I pull cards on it, honey, it's not gonna look good for them. So I'm not gonna even do it. Cat, somebody then use maybe with the calamities. Okay, with the catastrophes right here. You got cat at the very beginning. Okay. All right, I feel like somebody didn't maybe use their discerning, okay, about something, and now a bunch of calamitous events is going on, okay. Think of fires as spiritual. Think of hurricanes as spiritual. Think as floods, whether they're physical or spiritual. All I know is somebody being flooded out, pushed out, okay. Somebody being, everything's being burnt to fucking ruins. Like, somebody did some shit that they shouldn't have did. It says causing great damage. Okay. All right. And then it says a disaster fire. Okay. Swept through a museum. Okay. I feel like it swept through somebody's life. Okay. All right. And then he got him over here with died and shit. Okay. And so if you look at died and you take the ED off and just put died, somebody definitely, could have passed away is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, thirsty make me think somebody did some shit that they shouldn't have did. Okay, they didn't think it through. Okay, they wanted to prove something. Okay, it says print election, and then you got circle and thirsty. Okay, so I don't know. Somebody could have been thirsty to be elected. I don't know, to get something, trying to get some kind of approval, trying to get some like. Okay, because like is on here too, okay? So somebody could have been getting some kind of approval, trying to get some like. Somebody was trying to be somebody's yes man. Yeah, yes on here twice. So you had somebody trying to be somebody's yes man. They got took the fuck out. Okay, they got took the fuck out. Okay, everybody's leaving in some kind of disastrous fucking end. It's a bunch of men. Okay, is what I'm seeing right here. Ace, somebody's name could be Ace. It's somebody's main man. Somebody's best friend. Somebody's first man. Okay, all I know is face. Okay, whoever's the face, whoever's in control, who's ever thinking they running the shit. I don't know. Okay, commander chief. I don't know, but all I do know is I feel like this is a bad omen being said about a bunch of men that did shit that they shouldn't have did. Okay, I feel like Father God gave them over 200 warnings. Okay, because you got 100 here. He gave them hundreds and hundreds of warnings not to do what the fuck they do. Some of them even had an eye, watch, spirit. Some of them even knew spiritually that they shouldn't have did the shit that they did. But instead they was a slave to the energy that they was because you got lurking here, and I put energy, so I feel like somebody master is on here too. Somebody was a slave, allowed somebody to master them, puppet string them, control them. Somebody was a slave to the energy that they was under. Somebody's under some kind of energy that they can't control, you know, an entity or whatever it is, you know. But I also feel like whether it's a physical person or not, somebody was under somebody's influence and they did a lot of fuck shit. Okay, they did a lot of fuck shit because somebody else told them to do it. So this is why the fuck they being taken out, the person being taken out, and anybody else that's in the line to be taken out. And it's gonna be like a movie because the warnings was given more than one time. Okay, repeat was the very first word that came out. Well, repeat, I got eat. Okay, then you got coast, above, cease. Okay, all right. And then under cease, I put ease on the side, and then I put grass. When I put grass, I put somebody's ass. I put ass. Somebody's ass is grass, or something about grass. Okay, something is under grass. Maybe they under grass. You feel what I'm saying? You got born is the next word. You got what I'm saying? All right. Then you got or, yeah, move page, master hair. I put air, and then you got 14. Okay, something God forbid may happen to somebody's child. Somebody could have got puppet string like a child, a 14-year-old. They could have puppet stringed a 14-year-old. Something about page, age. Somebody was underage, acting underage, being immature, whatever it is. Something about age. Okay, when I look at page, okay, then you got master on here. Okay, so I just feel like somebody was puppet string, somebody was immature, childish, underage, acting underage. Okay, climb. I got all the way to the top mountain. Okay, guess I got something or someone that could surprise. Some you could be surprised, but you could be surprised or they could be surprised. Okay, or all of these little words that I said about 100. Okay, which is red, warning, attention, mad, focus. Okay, and also like I said, 100. It just make me think. You know, something could have been done 100 times over and over. Somebody, you know, something could have been warned over and over and over 100 times. Okay, somebody ignored what they seen, what they knew. You got best here, two here. Okay, wear ear. So I feel like wear ear and stuff is, you know, avoiding to hear and see what spirit was trying to tell somebody. So now things is being moved in a direction that people cannot stop or change. Paying somebody trying to get them to reverse a spell, a hex, or stop some shit that y'all did. All y'all doing is getting scams done on y'all, because that shit cannot be done once you send out energy and it went too far and it's been gone, you know, miles away, like 200 miles. It's already gone. You can't stop that package. All you can do is return it. You know, it can be just return after it deliver, some shit like that. It's like you can't stop what you already sent out. You sent it out. It's already gone. And now the calamities is coming in, fucking everybody up. Okay? It is what it is. This is what's going down. This is the season that you in. And it's going to be a lot of shit said, done, exposed about y'all, on y'all, and just everything. All on Facebook and all. People going to be looking your book, knowledge. They going to know the information, know what's going on with you. Everything's getting exposed. Period. Everything's getting exposed. Face, eye, you know, ear. They hearing it, seeing it, watching it. Okay? Like a movie, Paramount. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's being dragged through the mud like a mule. They being dragged through the fire. Okay? For the shit that you tried to do in the high priestess energy. For the shit that you tried to do in an anointed person's energy. For the shit you tried to do in the chosen one's energy. For the shit you was doing, period. Okay? Okay? It's a group of men. They got bad omens coming. Okay? And that's what you need to know for being on the bandwagon. With the Cumberland's spirit right here. Okay? SUCCUBUS. Okay? Separated was a bus. Okay? Somebody wanted to get on somebody's bandwagon bus. Or whatever this shit is. Was acting like animals. You know? Disrespecting spirit and all that. You know what I'm saying? Thought they had the method to keep doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. Okay? Alright? Trying to force, you know, because you got forward here. So it just make me think like force shit forward. Like somebody didn't want to face the truth of what was being seen and said or heard. Okay, like I spoke about the clear audience that the girl came into the voice of, and she really didn't want to understand what she was hearing and all of those shit, and it took a good minute for her to see the word and all of those shit. So that means that shit had to happen for her to really see that, yeah, she was hearing what she was hearing. It's the same thing like them. Shit had to really go down and they motherfucking energy for them to see that this shit wasn't no game, and that they brought a lot of trouble to themselves by not listening to spirit and behaving right. Okay? And that's the bottom line of what this is. Okay? This is what spirit has brought. Somebody's ass is grass. Okay? From the shit that they was doing. Okay? Alright? Alright? So when I said about first, okay, maybe somebody's firstborn, because you got born on here. Maybe your firstborn, God forbid, something gonna happen. I don't know. Think about the pledges of the Bible with Pharaoh. When God kept telling Pharaoh to stop, let my people go and all that. And then Pharaoh wouldn't do it. He kept hardening his heart. Okay, he kept ignoring God and ignoring the signs and shit. So God sent the pledges in and took everything that was first. Okay, and when you think about fire, that's like everything. But fire, floods, and then you got fires, floods, and water. So this is like everything that's going down in somebody's energy. You got fires, you got waters, and you got airs. Okay? And it's happened all on earth. Okay? All right? And so these signs, whoever was involved with this destructive energy, whether it was all signs, fire, water, earth, and air, or all this shit was done, fire, water, and air, all of this shit, all the shit that they did to earth, okay, on earth, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's all coming back to you, period. It's all being rejected and spit back to you. Okay, the same as that movie that I seen on Peacock with the girl when she had the music box and she kept putting them wishes out. Okay, eventually you have to pay, and they only want blood. They only want blood, and at the end of the 7 wishes, they collect your soul. She tried to be clever and thought she was smart, the same as this group. They thought they was clever and smart, the same as the ex. They thought they was clever and smart, male or female, but she thought she was clever and smart, and so she tried to take her last wish and say, I want everything to go back to the way that it fuck was from the beginning before I got this box in my hand, which is cool and all and dandy, right? So the box gave her what she wanted, and everything went back to the way it was, to how she knew it from the very beginning. But remember, I told y'all, after the 7, to make me think about 7 deadly sins. After the 7 deadly sins, okay, somebody got to pay up. It got to be weighed up. We had heard videos after videos about God said that this karma or this energy or whatever this is, it has to be balanced. So the balance was that when she went to cross the street after giving the boy the bag and telling him to bury it, her ass got hit and struck out of fuck nowhere. She didn't see that shit coming. I mean, when I said that shit, that car, whatever the fuck came out of nowhere, you would have thought somebody dropped that shit down through a fucking portal. Okay? Okay? Right on top of her ass. Okay? That shit collected her ASAP. Okay? Okay? ASAP. Like you think something ain't gonna get paid? It's your ass. So at the end of the day, it just makes me think that all of the shit you send out, eventually it comes back to you. Okay? Okay? Eventually it comes back to you, no matter how slick, sneaky, or cunning you think you is. Okay? Going through people, involving other people, all of that. They gonna get it, you gonna get it. It's gonna bring, everything's gonna be balanced the way it should be. Whether I see your face, know you or not. Okay? That's what you need to know. Okay, this is what I'm giving you. Okay, this is a message for the broadcast message for, okay, the group or whoever need to hear this. Okay, all right, for sure, one love.